Good morning, everyone. This is Sabian, and I have a little post-Easter discovery to share with you. Okay? All right. By the way, you can find me at sabiangeometry.com, on Instagram, on Facebook, and at my website, sabiangeometry.com, and my YouTube channel. Anyway, I had found a really interesting thing to do with Easter, and I know that I'm a couple days late, but I needed to kind of take it from the joy of discovery to a presentation mode where it could be appreciated. A couple of things you'll learn about me if you follow along with my videos is that I get really super excited like a kid and over-enthusiastic. I have Jupiter in the first house, so very enthusiastic. But I also have the moon in the 10th house, which adds this layer of mystery. And I really don't mean to be mysterious, but evidently that's how I come off. And I do apologize. So that's why it takes me the extra time to calm down and try and present it in a way that can be understood. So let's go for this. What we're talking about is Easter. Specifically this year, 2021. Now I think that's important why I discovered it this year and not in years past, because we just had the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. We're in the age of Aquarius, and so we're in unknown territory. We're passing into a new age, and so we're going to have a lot of discoveries like this, and so it shouldn't surprise us that new things come along. It should be exciting, and it should be a journey that is where we're sharing with each other the things we discover. I feel like I'm going to sneeze here. But anyways, okay. So I work with the Sabian symbols. You probably all know about them. There are 360 symbols. Sorry about my writing. Okay. I have written a book, On the Shoulders of Giants. It's available on Amazon. I wrote this book, 2009. Anyway, I think it's time for the book to come out. And the book has, for each of these symbols, it has the cross, which is the fourfold, and it has the star, which is the fivefold. Okay? So Aries 1, the cross, the star. Aries 2, the cross, the star, all the way through Pisces 29, the cross, the star, Pisces, the cross, the star, Pisces 29, Pisces 30, all the way around. But the thing is, these are circles, right? These are circles. This is 360, this is 365. This is man's mathematical circle divided into quadrants, fours. This is Mother Earth's orbit. 5 more days, right? 365 days in a calendar year, right? Except for leap year and so on and so forth. So this is the one I work with respect to this one. This is the 4 and the 5. Every page of this book has the 4 and the 5 in the word symbols of the Sabian symbols. I don't want to spend too much time there. What I want to do is tell you about Easter 2021. In this 360 phase mandala of symbols, there are 2 that refer to Easter. One, can you see if I write here? Okay. One is Sagittarius 17. Okay. One is Pisces 17. Okay. These are both common signs, or mutable signs as you might call them. And you notice they're both at the 17th degree, which tells us what? That we're dealing with a perfect square, a mutable square. Okay? We're dealing with a square. Well, we are in the sign of Aries. Okay? We're not in Sagittarius and we're not in Pisces, so why is Easter showing up in Sagittarius and Pisces, right? This was a curiosity I had. In fact, sunrise on Easter was on, so we know that occurred on April 4th, 2021, correct? Okay, so when was that, or where was that? If we divide these 2 degrees exactly in half, this was what I found. If I divide these directly in half, we come up with Aquarius 3. And we find that the sun rose on this day on Aries 15. Huh. Okay. I did look at the midpoint because I thought, well, you know, a nice fulcrum right in the middle where it's balanced between these squares, because in between here, of course, the square is 90 degrees, right? And over here we have the semi-squares, which are 45 degrees. Okay? Degrees. Okay. So we understand what's going on here. This is the curiosity, right? What is this? Why do they meet in the middle here? And we know the sun rose in Aries 15 in this one, in man's cycle, Aries 15. In the goddess cycle, which is what I call the one Mother Earth's orbit, this was Aries 15, the sun rose. This was Aries 14. Oops. Okay? So they're side by side. They're side by side. So actually up here we could do Aquarius 2 on one side and Aquarius 3. Anyway, that's not important. I don't care which one you look at. This still works the same. The thing is 45 and 45, they meet here at Aquarius 2 and Aquarius 3. That's important to understand, that it is a hash mark between the two. Okay, if it were an odd one, if they were odd numbers, then it would be an exact degree, but we have this side-by-side pairing going on here, 2 and 3. So here, Aries 15 or 14, you know. So I'll just go ahead and write that in there for the goddess to have her place. Okay, well, here is my discovery. Remember I told you that in my book, I have Aries 14 and I have the cross and the star for all of the degrees. Okay, so here on this page, you will see April 4th and April 5th. I don't know if you can see it with the light. Okay, April 4th and April 5th. And if we go to April 4th in this book, it would be 14. And if we went to April 5th in this book, it would be 15, because this has the divine goddess days in it. Well, here's the interesting thing. Aquarius 2. Let's find out what Aquarius 2 or 3 is. Which should I do? Which should I do for you? I'm going to read to you what the keyword is and the degree for Aquarius 3, because that's man's circle and that's what most everybody follows, except for Mother Earth. Anyway, okay, so if we go to Aquarius 3 is a deserter from the Navy. Aquarius 3. The keyword is defiance. That's Aquarius 3. Okay. Let's look in my book, because I didn't make this for astrologers. I made this for lay people who just are interested in the word symbols and the mandala without all the astrological references. If we go to the sunrise of Aries 15 and we look at the star model, I want you to zero in on that and look through those. And what do you see? What's at the bottom? What's the 5th point of the star? What does it say? Well, it says defiance, a deserter from the Navy. What has just happened here? We found the midpoint. We just learned its keyword is defiance. By the way, the keyword over here is accident. Just letting you know. Aquarius 2. And it was on Aries 15, was the 5th point of the star. Okay, this is the 5th point of the star of Aquarius 2. Aquarius 3 in its fivefold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is defiance. The same as here. So we have Aquarius, we have Aries 15, Easter, sunrise. And we have Aquarius 3, defiance. We have Aries 15, sunrise. Let me get rid of my name up here. We have Aries 15, sunrise. On Easter, right here, whose star let me make that better. Whose star actualizes. Oh, it's kind of wet, isn't it? At Aquarius 3. Now, what are these two Easter symbols? I told you this was an Easter symbol, and I told you this was an Easter symbol. And I told you that everything happens here at Aquarius 3. Let me finish up by showing you that this is a 4, this is a square, this is a 5 in the middle. I hope you understand what I've discovered. It's pretty phenomenal. I'm going to read to you now. Let's go into the meanings of these. Let's go into Sagittarius 17, an Easter sunrise service. This is a symbol of man's achievement on the level of spiritual or eternal fellowship with others, here emphasized objectively by the enduring values he is able to dramatize for himself in everyday religious terms. The lives of all are seen in their common contribution to the total worth of a human estate, rather than as set off against each other in a senseless struggle for ephemeral rewards. Implicit in the symbolism is individual fulfillment through the quickening of humanity as a whole. The key word is rebirth. Let's put that down. The key word is rebirth. Okay. When positive, the degree is an unusual realization of immortal resources and an ability to employ them wisely, and when negative, over concern with superficial form and ceremony. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go to Pisces 17. Find out what's sitting over there. I will tell you also, that's not necessary to tell you that. Okay. All right. So what is Pisces 17? Pisces 17 is an Easter promenade. An Easter promenade. This is a symbol of that constant expansion of self and experience which characterizes reality on its conscious levels, emphasized here on the side of humanity's utterly individualistic self-expression. Implicit in all the ridiculous extremes of man's vanity and self-exhibition is a realization that each least manifestation of his personal excellencies must be shared widely and generously as the basic condition of their development. A human society exists only as one person is able to dramatize himself satisfactorily to all. The key word is celebration. When positive, the degree is tireless self-refinement in an effective inspiration of others, and when negative, a craving for attention. All right, so we get that these are the Easter symbols, right? We get that. Is anybody curious as to why defiance would be sitting in the middle? Well, let's find out what defiance is according to the Sabian symbols, and maybe we'll understand why that is the meeting point between the two. Okay, so we're going to Aquarius 3. And let's listen intently as to, with the thought in mind of, why does rebirth and celebration meet at a star on sunrise of Aries 15 that actualizes or completes itself, fulfills itself at its fifth point of Aquarius 3. We know this is true, but why? What does it mean? Aquarius 3, a deserter from the Navy. This is a symbol of human independence, carried to a point of extreme rebellion against things as they are, here emphasized in a disregard of all consequences for the sake of an immediate liberation of the spirit. There is a demand for a more rewarding expression of individuality, and the reversed symbolism suggests that any late acceptance of full and personal responsibility for life is better than none at all. Except as man creates his own allegiances, his destiny holds no depth. The key word is defiance. When positive, the degree is genuine psychological courage in a repudiation of all meaningless loyalties, and when negative, complete inability to follow the rules of any game. For there to be rebirth, there must be death. This is the story of Easter. Death to rebirth, to celebration. Why would you celebrate if it's the same old life? No, there must be a psychological repudiation of all meaningless loyalties. Now, the one thing I didn't tell you was, what was sunrise? What was Aries 15? Let us finish then with Aries 15. What the degree that the sun rose in on Easter. All right. This will, actually, I'm going to read two more symbols. This one is important. An Indian weaving a blanket. This is a symbol of personal fulfillment through a simple excellence. Let me explain. Okay, so what are we listening to now? This is where the sun rose on Easter. This is where the sun rose on Easter. Sagittarius 17, Pisces 17. This is where the sun rose on Easter. And then we know there's a star there that ends in Aquarius 3. Aries 15. Sag 17. Or excuse me. Oh, I'm getting that mixed up, aren't I? Yeah, the sun rose in Aries 15. The star actualizes at Aquarius 3, which is right here, Pisces 17. Okay, so we understand what we're talking about. This is where the sun rose on Easter, an Indian weaving a blanket. This is a symbol of personal fulfillment through a simple excellence of self-expression, and it represents the basic skills of being as a means for bringing all desired things to center in a true self-possession. The ego is stabilized through the individual's gift for preserving or enhancing some one of the arts or values which comprise the culture in which he finds himself. The business of life becomes a meeting of human needs as a means of enduring self-gratification. The key word is diligence. When positive, the degree is the quiet persistence of each proper act of self in the interest of its own genius, and when negative, an acceptance of the dull routine of every day as a species of transient security. Easter diligence. If you're going to go through hell, keep on going towards your rebirth so that there might be a celebration of you. Be diligent in all things. Choose your loyalties and your allegiances according to the desires of your rebirth. There must be a defiance from the old to the new, death to the old, rebirth to the new, so that there might be celebration and joy. Be diligent in all things. Happy Easter. Sorry it's a couple days late. Anyway, when I make these discoveries, I will share them with you. I have to do like it said. There has to be a sharing of, I'm not inventing any of this stuff. I'm just seeing it as if for the first time. I don't want to say too much more about that. I'll just leave it at that. I have much more to share with you. In the meantime, feel free to visit my website. Let me put this on me for a second now. Feel free to visit my website, my YouTube channel, my Instagram account. I don't do a whole lot on Instagram. I'll probably share this to Sabian Geometry on Facebook, though, I guess. But for sure, I'll get this up on my website and on YouTube. Anyway, this is Sajan, and remember, there's a circle. Here's a little thing I thought about this morning. I was thinking about that. I was thinking, 4 and 5, right? If you ever sat down to Easter meal and there's pie served at the end, if there's 5 people, you don't cut it in fourths. If there's 7 people, you don't cut it in fifths. If there's 10 people, you cut a circle for as many degrees as you need to. And Mother Earth decided that she was going to take 365 days plus to go around the sun. So I don't care what man may say, and that all of our mathematics are based on 360, Mother Earth says, in my home, on my planet, we will take 365 days. Thank you very much. She neither asks permission nor forgiveness. It is what it is. We orbit the sun in 364 plus days, right? 365 days. That's the secret of womanhood. That's the secret of the divine feminine that balances the divine masculine. So in this book, On the Shoulders of Giants, you will find for every degree of the mandala, you will find both the 4 and the 5 for every single one. And you'll be able to see the cross and the star for every single one for every day of the year. Okay? This is Sajan. Namaste. Thank you for hanging out with me.